Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. And today we are starting in another DistroWars. So I hope everybody is doing well on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon. Are people getting out of there and out of your houses and into the world yet? I'm really not until they stop mandating we wear stupid masks. Sorry. Not happening. I'll be visiting a black market beauty shop to cut my hair here eventually because, frankly, like, hairdressers aren't allowed to open. Dude, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Grow a mullet here? I've had a mullet. High school was weird, so I don't want a mullet again. So I'll be hiring the mullet removal services before too long. I'm gonna have to. If we can't get into barbershops to get our haircut soon, we're going to have to hire landscapers instead. All right, well, how's everybody doing here? We got coming on into the comments. Papa's Films, how's it going there? Why not Ubuntu Cinnamon? I've done Ubuntu Cinnamon. We've done Linux Mint versus Ubuntu Cinnamon. We've almost been doing the Distro Wars for almost a year now, I think. How fast time flies. It might have been, let's see. I think we might have started it might have been August. So, wow. Yeah. Mint tastes better. Yeah, I actually, in light of the fact that we are doing Cinnamon Desktop, I actually am drinking cinnamon stick coffee today. So, I'm keeping my theme going. I didn't have any mint tea left that I know of. Although I think I have some peppermint drying in my closet. But I don't have... it's peppermint, trust me. I do have a lot of cinnamon. And so since we're looking at both distros as the Cinnamon Desktop, we are definitely doing cinnamon today for tea. Let's see. Tried Manjaro Cinnamon, pretty good version. All right, I think they should consider making it official instead of a community release. There you go. Let's see. Switched from Mint to Manjaro Cinnamon about a year ago. Very good. Yep. Nemgun Boy, how's it going there? I am over there on the Discord following along on the live chat. tlm.li/STLD if you want to jump into the Discord server with us. We got, is it Retoris? How's it going there? Used to use Artix and absolutely love Pac-Man. Prefer Mint to Manjaro. There you go. Except Manjaro does have Pac-Man, you know. Mint wins for you, Dorco, because AUR. Enough said. There you go. Linux versus Windows. I've done that before. Yes, I did do a Windows versus Linux. Oh, man, people hated that one. CJ! That's right. The other kitty was around just before we started. She came by, said hello, and said, the camera's on! And ran out of here really quick. Let's see. Listen to death metal. Let the battle commence. LJ! How's it going there, LJ? Greetings to you. Fernando, hello to you from Portugal. Well, greetings, Portugal. Second time's a charm. Mullets are in, bro. Hey, there you go. Well, you know. Woohoo, made the stream. All right, Vince, very awesome. Glad to see you here. Shut up for your favorite distro. Which one's yours? I feel like this distro war is a bit unfair. I mean, I don't know, because both of them are great distros, to be honest. Let's see. The green distro wins. Yeah, that's right. Hey, that was my official view on Linux. Green makes the distro run good. I mean, really. Manjaro, Linux Mint, you know. Kyrie Holmes got to go soon. No! Jimmy the Noob, greetings to you. We got 40 folks on right now. Should we just go ahead and dive on in, get this over with earlier? I have a lot of stuff to do. I have, let's see, 14. I have about 13 chapters left to record for the audiobook that I would like to have out in about 8 days. So yes, I have hired an audio engineer to finish stuff up. So I'm going to record it, pass over to an audio engineer. Hopefully that allows us to get it due quicker. Greetings if you're watching, and I'll listen to your work in a bit, and I will try and get you another one shortly after the stream. All right, so we'll probably wrap this up early if we get the chance because... dropping my pens so that I can get back to that and get a bunch of other stuff done. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, if Mint was Arch-based and Manjaro was Ubuntu-based, that would be interesting. Let's see. Linux Mint easy win. I don't know. I mean, Linux Mint versus Ubuntu Cinnamon, easy win. Linux Mint versus Manjaro Cinnamon, it's going to be a bigger fight. I promise you that. So shall we go ahead and dive on into this? Let's go ahead and do that. Let me pull up my web browser view, make sure we're good. All right. Speaking of green distros, you looked at Ubuntu Mate lately? Not lately. Not in the latest release. I have not. Welcome back to Switch to Linux and another Distro Wars. And today we are going to have a look at two amazing distros that I am not sure I am going to be able to declare a winner. Linux Mint Cinnamon, my personal favorite, compared to Manjaro Cinnamon. Has a lot running for it. And so we are going to look at several different issues. Today we are going to look at the basic RAM usage, theming, the ability to update, applications on install and ease to add applications, snap/flatpak support, is it good, is it bad, is it indifferent, or whatever else. The ease of customization, getting started with the distribution, and what kernels do we have to run and have available to us. And so as we look through this list, first let's jump on over and have a quick look at their websites, and then we will spin one of these guys up and we'll run from there. So over at Manjaro, they do have several official builds. So if you were to hit the try Manjaro, their website is still horrible because their homepage menu does not actually have the download button. You got to click the download button on the homepage, get to it. So while their new website is modern and flashy, it saves. It has a lot to go for organization. Although Linux Mint's site is just about as bad. When I want to find Linux Mint's blog, I have to go an internet search for it rather than find it on the menu. I know it exists. I just don't know where it happens to be. So anyway, that being said, the official Manjaros are XFCE, KDE, Plasma, GNOME, and we also have an architect, which allows you to basically customize everything. There are also these community editions, and inside of your community editions, this is actually where we have the Cinnamon. So Cinnamon is not an official Manjaro, it is a community release. All of these community releases, though, are generally just as good, but we are going to go ahead and test that. There's some things that I know the latest version of Manjaro does right, at least in the core releases. I'm not sure if they've done in the community releases, because I've seen some issues. But you can see they have a variety of different desktop environments. We, of course, are using the Cinnamon desktop environment. But you can grab a whole lot of options. Manjaro, of course, is based on Arch, although they do hold packages back, so it doesn't roll quite as fast as Arch, but pretty fast. Rolls way faster than Linux Mint, which will roll approximately when the glacier recedes a few inches. But back to Linux Mint. Now, the stability of it is what I love about it, and that's why it is absolutely still my favorite. On the Linux Mint site, we do have a pure Debian-based Linux Mint Debian Edition 4 LMDE, or we also have the Linux Mint 19.3. Next beta should be dropped sometime this month, which next one will, of course, be 20 based on the Ubuntu 20 LTS. These are giving us Cinnamon, Mate, XFCE. We have, as the current version, we have 64 and 32-bit. Albeit in the next release, they will only be 64-bit. However, Linux Mint Debian Edition will retain 32-bit for probably forever because it's based on Debian, and Debian doesn't drop 32-bit support. So you can go ahead and grab those from their website. You can download the distributions and spin them up. So what we are going to do here is we are going to have a look at our desktops here, and we'll start with Manjaro. And as we get started here on Manjaro, I'll just talk briefly about the installation steps of these guys. Pardon the black screen. That doesn't seem to have a big loading animation on this community build. So we just sit here with a black screen. You're not sure if your computer has crashed or not. Linux Mint, at least we have a nice little loading screen. But the installation on both of these are the same. Now, since this is a community build of Manjaro and not an official, it did not give us the option to choose which one of our Office suites to install. So it either didn't install one at all, or it went with LibreOffice as my assumption. I haven't checked yet. We will check that as we go in. Otherwise, the installation process was very easy, very simple, no concerns at all. Both of them very easy installers. I believe Manjaro is Calamaris, but don't quote me on that. And Linux Mint, the one based on Ubuntu, uses the Ubiquity installer. Both very easy systems. And I have no idea why it did not start us full screen. It did on my test. So I was like, oh, that should be fine. So let's go ahead and throw it into full screen. Now we're not going to cite the distro is an issue with that. First thing we might like to do here is let's go ahead and have a look at the friendliness for just getting started. So supposing you are new to Linux. On Manjaro, now the first screen that we're not seeing here is we did actually have an option on the very first boot that allowed you to choose, do you want this version of Cinnamon where the icons are more resemble like your Windows 10, or do you want to go with an older Windows XP like smaller icons, quick launch bar instead of pinning things? You did have that option on Manjaro as a pop-up, and I'm sure it's possible to get that guy back. We could go ahead and we might be able to look for it. It's probably in the settings. You can see that it did give us a pop-up here that there are some updates that we can install. So we do have the option here. Now we actually have this is actually language packs is what it is. So we actually have two setting icons. One of these is this guy down here with the shield and the check mark on it. This is actually POMUC, and this is going to be checking for basic system updates. The other one, which is the Manjaro logo, is going to have some Manjaro specific things, language packages, kernels, and things like that. We'll come back to that in a moment. So on the pop-up screen, we really only have basic documentation type things, and we do have an application launcher where we have the ability to install some very common, very popular applications. So we have Opera, Midori, Firefox, which is installed, Chromium, and Brave as easy options to install for web browsers. Now, there are more applications than this. This is just your most common, most up-to-date applications. Okay, so there is your basic startup screen. So not a lot of super helpful stuff in the startup screen, but at least we have a little bit of something, and we did get a chance to check that. Let's see if HTOP is installed on either of these. So HTOP is installed, and it looks like we are running, before doing anything, Manjaro is going to be running on about 653 megabytes of RAM. So for a Cinnamon desktop, that is not a lot. So it is running very lean on your RAM. We looked at our updating is quite simple. You can, of course, just update right by pulling up your package manager, which is called POMUC. And then over here, you can check your updates tab, and it's going to go ahead and check your system for updates. And totally shocker that we have an Arch system that's up to date. But I guess I did just install this about 3 hours ago, so kind of expected that. All right, as far as installing various applications, what I'd like to do now is I want to check your preferences because what Manjaro has done right, at least on the core builds, is they have given us an easy ability to install snaps and flat packages from POMUC. What I'm seeing here now is that this is not giving me the similar options. So we can enable the Arch user repository, which is pretty much a community build of pretty much anything and everything you might want. This particular version is not easily allowing us to check our snaps and our flat packs from POMUC itself. Flatpak and snap support may be enabled in the system, but we're not going to be able to install them out of the box that I can see. Let's just go ahead and check. So GIMP is already installed. Let's look for Kdenlive, and I just want to see where this is from. It says there on the top it was from the official repositories. So definitely from the official repositories. So we do not have GUI support for Snap or Flatpak. So if I want to install snaps or Flatpaks from this, we can't. I personally don't like them. I use them as a last option, but it is nice that the core Manjaro does allow you to do that from your GUI here. So with that, that's going to be something that we'll look into. So we're going to mark that as a no for the GUI. As far as our overall theming, you can see the theming is good. It is nice. It is consistent. Let's go ahead and pull up a few different types of applications here. Let's go with, let's go ahead and install, where's our graphics? Let's have a look at what GIMP looks like. What we're probably going to see is everything is going to look perfect because Manjaro, if it's good at anything, it is good at making absolutely anything and everything look amazing out of the box. So, yeah, it does look like that might be, so it looks like actually they did not do quite the matching theming necessarily for GIMP, albeit GIMP does like to use its own themes sometimes. So that might be more of a GIMP thing than a Manjaro theme. So there is our theming as overall, and let's have a look in our system settings and see what type of custom theming that we have available to us. So I know Linux Mint has a pile of theming options. Here we have just kind of some basic things. We do have our Mint X, our Mint Y from our Linux Mint. We have our Mint Y Dark. We have, which it looks as though this is using, what's this using? Mint Y Teal. So that's using Mint Y Teal. So it's basically grabbing your Mint Y Teal from in here. And that's going to set everything else. So remember your desktop theme will override everything else. But we do actually have pretty much all of the same options. It does look like a few things are missing from here from Linux Mint, but not a whole lot. And my guess is that these themes are going to override those anyway. So that's actually really good. We have font selection. We have backgrounds. We do have a lot of simple Manjaro backgrounds in here. And we do have our generic GNOME background. So that's all we have if you're looking for good backgrounds out of the box. Hey, that's easy to fix anyway. We just add your own things. Okay, so here's our hardware support. One thing to note is that Manjaro is not going to necessarily have a driver tool, so updating your drivers is not going to be quite as seamless as it will be on Linux Mint. All right, let's have a look at our login window administration. So here's our basic backgrounds. We can choose, let's see, here's our users. We can allow automatic logins, things. Overall, the login was pretty good. We do have a Manjaro settings manager. So inside here, hardware configurations, we have our kernel, language packs, locales. All right. Let's go ahead and have a look at our kernels. So Manjaro has this extra tool in order to allow you to choose your kernels. So you can see that we are running 5.6 kernel right now for Manjaro. And we also have the ability to roll up to experimentals or real-time kernels if we want to. You can roll all the way back to older LTS kernels if you need to do that. So we can easily choose which kernel that we want to use. And let's have a look at our basic applications out of the box. So we are going to have, let's see, software tokens, virtual keyboards. Looks like we do not have a USB tool managements like we do in Linux Mint, but for the most part, it looks as though most of the other applications are going to be fairly similar. Of course, this kept GIMP instead of the drawing application that we have. Microsoft Office Online, is that an ICE package? Okay, Manjaro just lost all credibility with me, putting Microsoft Office Online right inside of here. Blech. Like I said, they did not give me, is ICE installed? I don't know if that's an ICE package or what. Didn't see the Office tool, but bleh, burn it with fire. Let's see, I dock some points down for that. All right, we have Lollipop for music. That's actually pretty cool. Oh, we do have a USB tool. It's just in a different place. So we do have a USB flasher. So I take it back. We do have USB flasher. All right. Let's see. We have our Firefox, and I guess looking at installing applications, we can just kind of right-click down here for your package manager, and then we can install anything that we might want to install. Since we have the Arch user repository, we will have the ability to install a whole lot more things on Manjaro than we will even on Linux Mint, although Linux Mint is going to be fairly easy. The updates and the packages are all inside of one tool here, streamlining the process, which is actually a good win for Manjaro, as Linux Mint has those separated into separate areas. So there is our look at Manjaro. So we'll come on back and have a look at Linux Mint next. All right, let's have a look at some comments while I shut this guy down, and then we'll get ready to... We'll read a couple comments, then we will reboot into Linux Mint. Let's see, where are we at? I prefer Manjaro because you can find almost anything in the repos without depending on Snap or Flatpak. Yep. I think it's funny on my on Arch systems and on Manjaro that oftentimes what's in the repository is actually newer than the Snap or the Flatpak. What? For Manjaro because you can find almost anything. Okay, I already read that. What do you think about the Ubuntu 2004? I have whole videos on that. While I like Ubuntu and it's going some good ways, I really think it's also steering people in some really bad directions by doing a snap first approach. And I think that that's a problem. And also the fact that it's harder to find repository things in there now, which I'm assuming that's getting better. I haven't looked at it for a while yet, so I'm guessing that they have most of that fixed. Which one has less reports of breakage? That's the winner. Probably in that case, Linux Mint. Mint is way dated right now. Vote as Manjaro. I don't really think it's particularly way dated, and the fact is we're going to get another one out here in a month. So Ubuntu DDE 2004 stable release is looking at. Nice. Alex says Manjaro is greater than Mint. All right. Someone say Arch. I thought I heard someone say Arch. Arch, Arch. Arch, 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 Arch. All right. That's what my neighbor's dog says every day. Huh? He must be a Linux user. Arch, Arch, Arch. Let's see. Not so easy to choose between the two. One is Arch-based while the other is Ubuntu Debian-based. Two different worlds. There you go. Jaro team is planning on making Cinnamon becoming an official flavor. Very cool. Max Programming, hello there. Communities for both distros are equally great. Yes, they are both very good communities as well. Think about the new colors of Linux Mint. I have not looked at them directly. I've just seen the screenshots of them. They're actually looking a lot more vibrant. Very nice. I think they're pretty cool. Of course, I'm using, for my work computer, I went through and changed all their things and give myself a bright orange because my business colors are, black and orange. So that's kind of what I do with that. So, okay. I am looking forward to testing them out a little bit more, though. Let's see. When I use Manjaro, really love Pamak. You can have everything in just one access. Yep. Okay. Manjaro easily wins in terms of themes and looks. I don't know. I think Linux Mint Cinnamon does an amazing job of theming too. I think they're the only two that do Cinnamon theming well out of the box. Or theming well out of the box, maybe. For a lot of CSS, especially recently, I guess I'm able to easily change between spellings and colors. Yeah, that's fine. We know what you're talking about. Cinnamon should add the option of grouped and ungrouped window styles in the Cinnamon settings. It's actually there. Well, okay, so it depends on what you're meaning by that. So, with Manjaro's grouped versus ungrouped, it's different names for the old style versus the new style. Whereas Linux Mint uses the terms traditional and new and modern, I think. But inside the Cinnamon settings, you have the option to group the tabs or not group the tabs. Is Tom American? Yes. I'm in State College, Pennsylvania. Manjaro is certainly... Keegan, you can drop that great state of Pennsylvania. Drop that great. until our government gets their head out of their rear ends. I'm not referring to Pennsylvania as great. Transylvania has Dracula. Pennsylvania has switched to Linux. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have to leave. Have to make some videos. All right, man. We'll see you, Max Programmer. Remember, I haven't booted in my Manjaro machine in a while. Now how many updates you'll have? Probably about 37,000. Gotta love GIMP forcing its own thing. Yeah, it is a little annoying at times, honestly. And Creature Morph, happy birthday to you. Do I have my birthday screen on this? I don't have my birthday screen on this one, man. Can I do my birthday screen? If I can find my birthday screen. Hold on, cancel. Cancel. Let's duplicate. If I'm going to go ahead and change things around, it's actually going to take me less time to create a new birthday screen than to change the video and then change the video again. All right. So let me just go ahead and wait, hold on. If I can figure something out, where is that? Delete you, delete you. There we are. Like I picked something weird and it was like, what is that? All right. Didn't know where I was going with that. Do I have it on this computer? Yes, I do. I do. All right. Let's see. There we are. All right. Well, happy birthday to you, Any Creature Morph. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. All right. Very cool. Very cool. I'll try and convince CJ to give you the power for your birthday, but that's going to be hard to do. All right. Can you put systemd analyze blame on terminal CD boot services enabled by default? Not right now because I just saw that comment. People are forced to use proprietary formats and don't want to change. There you go, yeah. Homeschooling has been rough, not built for that. Glad schools are starting to reopen this week. All right, there you go. Are you going to be throwing a wild party when the kids go back to school? That'd be like, there's Vince over there throwing a wild party. Coming in all schnockered. What are you celebrating? The kids are back to school. To see wine sales shoot through the roof, champagne go through the roof. Yeah, not for long. Yeah, no. Oh yeah, for long. I think people are starting to wake up to the reality that this is not all that insane. Right, kitty cat. Right, kitty cat. We're starting the next clip, so I don't think you should come up right now. You can come up next when I'm done with this clip. Okay, kitty? I'm done with this clip. You can come up. The kitty's like, I kind of want to come up now. I want to come up now. No, kitty. No, kitty. That's YouTube replacing Cara Smiles. All right. And here we are on Linux Mint. So here with Linux Mint, we are going to have some updates to do because I installed it and I did not run updates after I did so. But when we first land on Linux Mint, we actually have a very helpful welcome screen with just a little bit of information. So it's a small enough amount that you'll actually read it. And then you have a series of first steps. So inside the first steps, it actually takes us to some places we need to do. System snapshots. This is like your old Windows system restore. We have a driver manager, something Manjaro does not have, where the driver manager gives us the ability to install drivers for things that are not in the open source repositories. We also have the update manager. That's what's yelling at us down here, and we'll have a look at that. We have our traditional and our modern desktop layouts. The default is modern. This is what it was saying with grouped or non-grouped. But as far as grouped or non-grouped, as we were saying in between here, if you actually go down to your panel settings and you go over to I got to remember exactly where it is now. Let's see where it's at. I got to remember exactly where it was now. But if you actually go ahead and edit all these guys, then there's actually the options to group these. I think it's over here. We configure this one here. All right, so over here, you actually have the ability to, there's button labels, button apps. We can show thumbnails. We can enable various things. I got to remember where the grouping is. There you go. So they're grouped or they're non-grouped. So you can turn on or turn off grouped. You can basically turn this into the exact thing that you would expect. And that's actually my preference, is to use the modern and just tweak the layout, which takes all of about 10 minutes or less to do. I'd say 3 or 4 minutes. And then I get the same format that I've always had that I like the most. But you do choose between the traditional and the modern. Now, this is the only spot I know of to change this is in the welcome screen, but you can always reboot up the welcome screen. We have our launch to the system settings, a software manager, and also a launch to the firewall. So we can go ahead and show our firewall. We have a toggle switch. We can show or hide that at startup. All right, this one I'm pretty sure HTOP is not going to be installed. So let's go ahead and install it. Sudo apt install htop. So we'll go ahead and do that just before we get too far into the video here. I just want to do a similar comparison as to what the RAM usage looks like on the two systems side by side. My guess is Manjaro might actually be a little bit lighter. 637. No, actually, Cinnamon was all of 22 megabytes lighter. So yeah, actually Manjaro was 653, Linux Mint Cinnamon is 638. That actually surprises me. Usually Cinnamon runs a little bit higher RAM than that. So comparison though, they looked pretty good. All right. So as far as updating, now this is kind of where there's only one place to install your software packages, and this is in your software manager, which is, in my opinion, one of the better, maybe not the absolute best software manager in Linux. The new POMAC gives it a run for its money, but what I like about it here is, well, Linux Mint does not support your snaps out of the box, which is a reason I like it. You can add it if you want to, but it does have Flatpaks out of the box, and it does a really good job. If I search for something that we have a repository and a Flatpak version, you can clearly see which one is Flatpak and which one is repository. You can tell from the icons that the version of Kdenlive here is about as old as dirt. So 4.17, I think we're on 4.19 is probably what we're closer to. So let's see. The Flatpak should be more up to date. I want to see if I can get a version number for it. Oh, 20. Okay, so we're already up to version 20.04. So you are going to get a little bit older software just because this is based on the on the Ubuntu 18.04 package base. At the time I'm recording this video, later on this month, the new beta and will be out for Linux Mint and the new version, which is going to have newer software. Now, does it bother me the software's old? It does not. In fact, that's kind of what I prefer because I'm not getting constant feature rolls, which is going to be an advantage of Linux Mint over Manjaro. Every time you run system updates, and you're going to be running updates every day, your software could roll to a brand new version, which completely change your UI or even your workflow. And so if you're trying to do work on your real computers, and that's really what most of us need a computer for, is to get real work done, then Linux Mint, in my opinion, is better because it's not going to constantly be changing everything around on you. As far as updates themselves, that is a separate tool. So the first time you run it, it does want you give you a notice about installing your system restore point. You can actually turn that off. Let's go ahead and apply this update, which is just an update to the update manager, and then I can show you where you change your kernels. So both distros will allow you to edit and change the kernels. Manjaro, it's the separate kernel tool. In Linux Mint, it's the tool inside of the Mint Update Manager. Albeit, I will say this, you do have in Manjaro, the system updates and the software installation is all in the same tool. Linux Mint is separated into two separate tools. So we do have a lot of updates here. If you head on over to Linux kernels, ignore your warning because, hey, we want to break our system anyway. You can see over here that we are currently running, let's see what we're currently running. Okay, so we are currently running 5.0. Remember, Manjaro was 5.6. So if you do need, and it does say end of life. Now, the reason I installed it and it says end of life is because we installed it and I did not run system updates yet. That will actually roll up. I think it will roll itself up until up to 5.3. So that might be a better accurate portrayal of what it's going to run. But since Manjaro is rolling and Linux Mint is point release, the kernel is going to stay where it is until a system software update updates it. So that will, my guess is, roll up to 5.3. You're not going to have an out-of-date kernel when the system is up to date. But still out of the box is giving us 5.0. My guess is 5.3 when we run our system updates. I should actually be able to see at the somewhere around here what it's going to install. Not going to tell me right here, but it'll do that. All right, so we can choose our kernels. We can easily change and update them. Theming. Our theming overall, we have more of a Windows light theming, system dark theming motif going with Linux Mint. We do, however, have a variety of themes, just like the Manjaro had. We have 3 options here. Our icons, we have a whole lot more options, about 3 times more options as we had on Manjaro. Here's our button themes, and here's our various desktop themes. So we do have a lot of theming options available to us. Linux Mint will also have this other little triangle warning down here, which is a status notification. So it's basically detects problems. Some people have criticized it. It's a little bit, maybe a little scary for some people if you don't know what it is. And all it's doing is warning, install language packs. No, I think our language packs are good enough. All right, we can set a root password just so that we can, if you need to access a separate root account separate from your main administrator, you can do that. And then you can launch your system restore points here as well. So let's go ahead and push ignore on all of those, and then that will not bother me again unless it sees something else down the road. Applications out of the box. We have mostly going to be very similar applications. As I noticed, we do have the USB image writer. It's under accessories in Linux Mint, whereas it was under administration in Manjaro. Linux Mint does have an extra USB stick formatter, which I found does fix weird, messed up USB drives that don't want to format other ways. Other than that, a lot of your applications are going to be similar. We do have drawing instead of GIMP. Their decision to do that was drawing is a much easier application to use than GIMP, so it catered better to the simple audience that just needs to be able to do something simpler in graphics. More think Windows Paint rather than installing Photoshop out of the box. We do have Firefox, Thunderbird. We do have the full Office suite here and no Microsoft Office link in here. That is absolute instant Linux Mint win. All right, we have Celluloid and Rhythmbox for our tools. Man, Lollipop would be really cool. Lollipop, though, is less functional and more bling, versus Rhythmbox actually allows you to subscribe to podcasts right from Rhythmbox, which is awesome if you listen to podcasts. All right, and everything else in here is going to be fairly similar. If we launch into our system settings, it's going to seem fairly similar to the Manjaro. Down here at administrative, we do have the driver manager that we did not have inside of Manjaro. So we've looked at, I think we've pretty much looked at everything that was on our basic list to do. So which one of these guys is the better, more superior, the best distribution? Which distro should you go with? Well, I think you're going to have a win on either one of these distros. They are both excellent. They're both going to support what you need. Here's going to be your breakdown and the biggest breakdown. I personally use Linux Mint over Manjaro. The reason I do that is I am more focused on using my computers to get professional work done. I'm an author. I'm a web developer. I need my system to be similar and stable every single time I boot it up. Okay, I don't want programs to change. I don't want the UI to run. Like one day I was working on an audiobook and Audacity updated and they took all of your, what used to be called, oh, I forget the term they used to use. They used to have a term for what is now your macros, and it used to be accessible under the file menu. So it used to be file menu, and I'll make up some word like file menu threads or something. It was something like that. And then they changed it in one change without having documentation about it. They called it macros, and they put it under the tools menu. It took me 35 minutes to figure out where they did that, and that's designed for audiobook automation, so I don't have to do a lot of crazy, insane stuff. That's the type of stuff I don't want to see happen. I only want a software package to update when I'm ready and can devote the time to relearning it should I have to. Another good example in the author world is Sigil. Sigil just recently did an update where it dropped the what you see, what you get editor of book editing. Now you have to install a separate application and link it. If you're unaware of that and you just roll an update because you're running a Manjaro, you're like, where'd that go? And it can frustrate you for a good hour, send you reading off into the developer's website to figure out, oh, they took that out. You have to install this application and do this other thing to get that back. These are the things I don't like to happen. So for that reason, I like the older packages. I want the system to be secure, which it's secure. The older packages does not mean it is insecure. We have been drilled into our head, security update, security update, security update so much that we fail to recognize the differentiation between a feature update and a security update. Ubuntu-based distributions, Debian-based distributions, they get every security update as they roll out. They just don't get the feature updates. That's why I use Linux Mint. Now, if you are on the other side of the coin and you're doing hardware development and you're working with drivers and custom builds, you are going to want to use Manjaro because you want to always be running on the absolute latest version of everything. If your job is a tinkerer or you're doing tutorial videos about how to change and reuse different things, maybe teach people how to use a new version of a software, you want the Manjaro version. There's going to be some advantages of that. So there's really no one perfect distribution to say everyone has to use this or everyone has to use that. Either way you rub it, they're both great distributions. Your fundamental difference on these, do you want the older versions of the packages that are not going to change on you until you intend to change them, or do you want the latest versions of the packages so stuff is always moving around on you to get you a rolling type system? That's your overall point. So I'm going to declare that they sit on the battleground, they're dueling out for all eternity, and there will not be a winner. That's my take. Let me know your take about these distros in the comments down below. If you like the video, go ahead and subscribe. Give me some thumbs up, maybe some thumbs down if you want to. Leave some comments down there as well, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. All right, let's go ahead and shut this guy down, then we'll hang out till we run out of comments, I guess. Alrighty, let's see. Total OS today, greetings to you. How you going? How you doing there? So glad. Let's see. We did that one. Is that a party or? I can't tell what that emoji is because the emojis are all messed up on my end. Where'd that kitty go? There's a kitty down there. Oh, the kitty's moving. I'm going to move the camera to put it on the kitty, and the kitty's like, nope. Oh, you want to come up now? You want to come up now? All right. Everyone tuned in to see the star of the show, not me. There you go. Give me that. Give me my mouse. Go on. Lay down your cat pad. Dink. There you go. All right. We got cat. Houston, we got cat. Netbook is an Acer Aspire 1 Cloudbook 14 running Linux Mint 19. Windows ran like garbage on it. Yeah. Windows always runs like garbage. You test if Snap is enabled on Manjaro. Sure. All right. Linux Mint sound is simply awesome. That's right. It's the red text option when you need it. Yeah. What people actually say. You should understand that some just don't want to move to different software. Yep. Yeah, I'll start moving to it when they're like, we're going to be collecting all sorts of data left, right, and center, and you're going to have to start paying for it every year. Why? Watch your choice to speak. Just get caught up. All right. Do I sound like a chipmunk? Ooh, Alvin, Simon, Theodore. Let's see, Flatpak or Snap support on Pamac, like the official, only repos and RChooser support. Yeah, that's what I saw as well. I can relate. I've had to keep my 16-year-old stepson motivated to stay on his schoolwork while staying on my college stuff with 2 toddlers climbing on me. Yeah. Both made top grades. Oh, stop mooning me, kitty cat. Don't moon me. Jeez, the cat's over here like, take dish. Take dish. All right, let's see. Kitty. I'm trying to check if Snap is supported, and it's over here going, meow. Okay, so it looks as though Snapd is installed, but there is no snaps installed. So, yes, it is already set up. It is just not, has nothing installed. All right, just caught up with the live feed. All right, so I'll talk twice as fast, so it just is about the same with you. All right. Okay. Is it me or you guys think that Mint outright removed the traditional theme option in Mint 20, given theme color screenshot in the blog post? Well, I don't know if they will completely remove it necessarily, but they probably didn't screenshot all of it. Linux Mint went back to the triaged updates scheme, meaning various levels updates, serious, recommended. Yeah, and bull caca. When I find out I do some serious stuff, only machine works for years. Yeah. CPU usage on Mint is higher. That could be the case. No, removing Flatpak support for Mint is generally detrimental to the system, unfortunately. You're out of your fishied mind? Really? All these wars while Ubuntu holds peace. Oh no, I've given Ubuntu plenty of time on the battlefield. It just gets a break today. Just noticed the layout theme option in Mint 20 isn't in the screenshot from the Mint blog. Copy link address. Let's have a look at what you're looking at. Okay, so you pick your desktop colors. Let me show this to you guys. No, kitty, don't next on my keyboard. So we have our desktop. We have our desktop colors. We have our system snapshots and our driver managers. Yeah, if that's all there is on that tool, then yeah, it's very possible they did take it out, to be perfectly honest. Or maybe it's possible they put it somewhere else. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not really bothered because I can still set up my system the same way. And actually, I like the modern look better. I just don't like the way it functions, but you can edit the way it functions. As long as they don't change the way it functions inside of the system, I'm okay with that. So that's kind of my thought. Good night, mate, said Sleepy Eyes Vince to Toss. All right. Okay. Linux Mint has broken on me when I tried to change the kernel. On the other hand, Manjaro hasn't. That's why I don't like to change my kernel around. Will Linux Mint break your PC by pushing out mandatory update? It is extraordinarily rare. Never been able to get Manjaro to load on anything. Yeah, there are some issues that Manjaro breaks. I've heard a lot more stories of Manjaro breaking over Linux Mint. That's for sure. Nowadays, only 630 megabytes of RAM. That's not heavy. Yeah, I know. I didn't skip over the Linux kernel listings and update managers. I had to update the update manager first. Be an extra on Fox News, a real-life superhero that becomes creatures. There you go. All right. CJ, can you do that for him? Oh, he just beamed me no. Didn't install the kernel update. Don't know enough about that yet. Yeah. Not crazy enough. I'm going to school for networking systems administration, but I've always had a passion for languages. Got a book on Latin for Christmas. Nice. Yeah, I still have some old classic Latin textbooks. My mother bought a house from an old Latin professor once, and she just left behind a lot of old books and stuff. So I snagged a lot of them. I think I had 3 series, and I ended up getting rid of all of them, but the best of the series. So I still have some good Latin books. A lot of good Latin stuff I have laying around, but I only kept 1 series of textbooks because it's a dead language, you know. Update Mint update is fantastic for non-techie users. There you go. Kernel updates are mostly painless and only make your experience most of the time. Yep. Okay. It's not heavy on RAM usage, but it is on CPU, GPU usage. I think it's really seriously only high on that if your video drivers are out of whack. So in this case, on virtual machine, it tends to default to CPU usage instead. But if your video drivers are working, then it doesn't. That's my understanding. But if you know more about the technical aspects of that, hey, I defer. Put Mint on another machine, HP 11 streamer, started XFCE on that, but went on distro, tasting Odyssey, ended up on Mint again. There you go. Blue OS. Can't get Pop OS to run on any. That's weird. Pop OS should run on more stuff than you imagine. That's weird that it wouldn't run. I mean, double check that your USB is correct and that your download is not corrupted. Also, Pop OS has different ISO images for NVIDIA and non-NVIDIA, so double check that you grab the right one. Well, I mean, Windows users like to have every app in the latest version. I don't think that's an accurate assessment. I think that some things push latest versions, but there's a differential between, again, the security versus the features. And if you explain the difference, I think that most people would understand that. Yeah. Switched. I was not using a single Microsoft program, so the transition was easy. Yep. I think it's a tie when it comes to features, but I agree the software is issue at times. Okay. Indeed, when our electroconvulsive therapy does an update during session, the patient may get a bit more zappy juice than intended. Manjaro is bloat in your opinion? Mr. Rich, are you really DT? Come on. Love the newest packages, but that desire is superseded by the desire to not have my system crash when running programs that are supposed to be light that used to run well for me. Yeah. Think of the effectiveness of browser extensions like Facebook, Fence, and Privacy Badger. I don't like browser extensions. Pretty kitty. Hey, buddy, you are a pretty kitty. That's right. Facebook Fence, I can't comment on. Privacy Badger is supposed to be good. I don't like extensions though. I've developed WordPress for too long. You start adding extensions, you systematically decrease the security of the thing. Don't like it. All right. Linux Mint is daily driver OS running on a cheap Acer Aspire. There you go. We have a Desk Panther. Desk Panther confirmed. That's right. We got a Desk Panther. Right, Desk Panther. Huh. Love the cat. Why, thank you. The kitty loves you too. Want a meow for Walker? Want a meow for Walker? This cat doesn't meow much though. The other cat meows. Kitty named Moonbeam. This kitty is CJ. I have another one, but you rarely ever see her. Use downgrade if I don't like the update on Manjaro. There. Someone use snaps on a Pac-Man based distro. I don't know. Some people use them though to isolate from the system. That is a legitimate reason. Neighbor's cat pooped on the front lawn, so not a fan at the moment. Uh-oh. Hey, kitty, don't you be pooping on the front lawn. Don't you be pooping on the front lawn. All right. Use, but some software just available on AUR. It can be buggy. Some would just prefer, yep. For inspection, it appears that select a color option. Mint Welcome has replaced traditional versus modern layout. Choosing read up on the Discord live chat for more information. First suspicion was the thing was scrolled over to the top. Okay. All right. Hello, Anna Rita. Greetings, greetings. Purple is now an option. Yes, and the colors are much more vibrant, too. Screenshots look really nice. WaterFox is fixed. Yeah, I did update WaterFox on my computer so I could keep using YouTube. They finally completely killed my old version of the YouTube YouTube backend. So I had no other choice but to update WaterFox to a newer version. Sad thing, but hey, it works. So I can still watch YouTube on Arch, which works, and manage it. Actually, I can manage it a little bit better. The theming on the old one was a little bit messed up. So, but hey, it's back. The downside is I can no longer see the global total public view count, which is something I used to like to monitor. It's completely not available to see. There's like a total view count, but it takes into account the hidden videos as well. But the Social Blade numbers, what I like to do is double check that the Social Blade numbers match with the YouTube numbers. Can't do that anymore. It's annoying. I miss my old YouTube backend, but oh well. Such is life. Dealing with the new crap. Looking at Linux kernel being listed the available updates. You scrolled past it too fast. Oh, did I? Okay. That's possible. Like, yo, I'm chilling here, so don't ask me to do things. That's right. Also, I think you should mic up the cat for background purring. Ooh, I could. Hey, kitty, I should mic you up for background purring. What do you think? I mean, I could see if I could enable another mic here. Let's see. Where are we at? We are on this camera mode. Nah, I'm not going to mess with that right now. I could think about it, though. I could think about it. It does sound fun. Possible government agencies of the world know some backdoors in Linux? Oh, absolutely. Good to be here for a bit. Thanks much for the stream. Awesome. See you later, Ron. Tried EROM yet? I have not tried it yet, and my apologies to the EROM developers. They have been asking me for a while to do it. They actually offered to send me a device to test it. But I said, you know what? I have a pile of Nexus 5Xs here, and I will, and if you're watching, guys, I will, let me finish the audiobook first that I'm working on because it's consuming my life. Let me finish that, and then I'll get testing some other stuff. I'll have better, more creative videos when I'm done with that audiobook. What do you expect? DJ is a female cat. Of course she's going. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Samash is from India. Greetings, India. Waterfox wasn't sold? Yes, Waterfox was sold, unfortunately, to a very shady company, unfortunately. There's reasons I use it for YouTube. There's really, on my Arch system, I really only found 3 browsers that work to play YouTube videos. One is Firefox, one is Waterfox, and one is Chromium. So they all have their own separate things that they do. Okay, heading out. Love the channel. Subbed. All right, man. We will catch you later. All right. We'll be in Discord after the stream. I will be floating around in Discord. I think right after the stream, I'm going to work on getting this video edited up and posted. And then after that, I'm going to disappear for a little bit so I can record some audiobook stuff. And then I'll jump back on. And who knows, it's Wednesday, so I might be able to jump onto the chat sometime tonight. I don't know. We'll see. For live stream support, had monetization, had features from YouTube. Yeah, there you go. Let's go ahead and feed this beast. We'll feed the beast, and then we'll go ahead and jump on out of here. Oh, yeah, kitty. We're going to feed the beast. Feed it a beast. Feed it a beast. Oh, don't moon everybody. Don't moon everybody. Here, sit down here. There you go. Yeah, got one. Here's another one for you. Let's go with one with this camera right over here, too. Yeah, their finger looking good. Their finger looking good, everybody. Yeah, their finger looking good, aren't they? Yes, they are. They're so finger looking good. They're so finger looking good, it's amazing. All right. Oh, Kitty's like, yep, got my kitty treats. I'm out of here. See y'all later. He's such a fair weather friend. He just likes me for my kitty treats. Such a jerk. Which one is less likely to consume RAM? Well, based on our work here, Linux Mint used about 15 megabytes less RAM, 38 to 53. So not a lot. Linux Mint by 30 megabytes. All right, guys. We will catch you guys later. Have yourselves a wonderful evening, and we will be back tomorrow with a fun supporters stream. We will catch you guys later. Thanks for hanging out.